So Flutter has just completed with their event, that is Flutter Engage. So in this video, let's talk about the major highlights of the event and also see what are the ground realities of these major announcements and what is in for you. Okay, so now let's get started with the first announcement that Flutter made. Although before getting started with these announcements, I would just say that Flutter has done awesome work till the 6.5 years it has been from the initial internal project of Google till now, and it's really great. And we appreciate the thing which Flutter is focusing on, that is ambient computing. Okay, so now that said, let's get started and have a deeper look at what these announcements have for you. So the first announcement was Flutter's release of web on stable branch. Okay, so you know that Flutter for web has been a craze from a long time and people have been waiting for the Flutter web to land on stable. So finally we have Flutter web on stable in the latest released version, Flutter 2. But the thing here is that it is not recommended for a Flutter application. It's not like that you can develop any type of Flutter web application and it's good for all use cases. So there are three particular use cases which are listed up here that you can see. In these three use cases, you can use Flutter web. And the best use case I like is if suppose I have an existing Flutter mobile application and I want to increase my user base and provide more functionality and I want to extend it to websites as well, then I can easily do, and around 80% or more code will be reusable for web as well. So now that's really a great thing if you have an existing application which you want to extend to web as well. So now, like the Flutter web uses, basically you have two render options. There are two renderers. The first one is the HTML DOM renderer and the second one is WebGL. So you can see in this demo that they have shown that they were able to make these videos, like it's not a video, it's just animation which they are able to compute on the web browser, and it looks really great and it's all from the code. Now that said, you can see that there's just one thing missing here. Like there are two cases in which it's not really good. The first one is that it is not good for SEO, like your websites will have much of the indexing thing, and for the search results as well, it will not perform that great. Other than that, all those web pages would be a single page web application. So if you want to create some single page web application, then it would be great. But if you want to have much of the static files and the static text and stuff like that, so it's not recommended. Although it's in the event also they said that we don't recommend it at this point of the time. But yes, definitely it's the first stable release of Flutter for web. Then definitely in the upcoming future they will work on it. So I would say that Flutter for web, the stable release is really good and they should have done this, and they have done it in a very proper way, and I really like this thing. Okay, so rather than that, the Flutter has also announced that the null safe version. So around 15,000 packages they have on pub.dev, including one of mine. So all those packages, they said that most of them are migrated to null safety, and hence all the projects you create from now will be on null safe. So null safety has been a really craze now, and I would really like this thing because null safety would not just help you while writing the code, but also your code will be much more effective and much more optimized. Just see this example which they have shown in their event, that when you write some non-null safe code, like for example this code, and the machine code, when it gets converted to machine code, this much code the machine have to write. Now if you write some null safe code, then this much only code required. So you can see there are a lot of machine code which would be reduced because a lot of null checks would be reduced automatically because it's sound null safety. So your compiler, before compiling the things, your ID and all will automatically suggest you the right thing about a variable, that it should be null safe or not. So that's really great, and I really like null safety, and definitely it's definitely the right time to land it, because I have seen like almost all of the major dependencies which we can have for a Flutter project are migrated, and if some are not, then you can contact the package owner and you can also contribute to it. Okay. So rather than that, this is again a really good release, and that's why since it's a very major release, because you have a lot of code of yourself of the main SDK as well, which you have to make null safe and all. So definitely it's worth saying that it's Flutter 2. Okay, so rather than that, the one of the major announcements which I liked about the Flutter is Flutter for desktop. Okay, so the Flutter for desktop is the thing which we have to focus on here. That it's kind of a tricky to understand in the first go, but let's see. Okay, so Flutter for desktop, Ubuntu has promised, like Ubuntu has made really big announcements and really big promises that they are saying. Ubuntu said that Flutter is our first choice, first or the default choice for developing apps for Ubuntu or Linux. Now that's really amazing, and that's what a technology could see. You can see the future of that technology. Also, Ubuntu has shown that they have created the Ubuntu installer in Flutter. Now that's really amazing, because you are creating an installer for your operating system into Flutter. Then that's really great, and I really like this thing about the enthusiasm Ubuntu has shown towards Flutter for desktop. So I really liked it. Rather than that, in the stable release, what they did, they had taken the current snapshot of the beta and then put that into the stable branch, so that the developers don't need to change their channels to develop branch, or so that they could just um, uh, run some desktop work. So the main purpose of this was to open an end for developers, the developers who could just try it and they can give their feedbacks, they can contribute for the Flutter desktop. So now that's really great, and I really appreciate it. And the main difference, I think, of Flutter desktop versus the other options, like for example Electron.js, is that if you develop an application in Electron.js, you write some HTML CSS code. First of all, it's not native. Secondly, that the application you write will have the same UI for all the platforms. For example, for the Windows, for Mac, for Linux, like VS Code we are using. But in what the Flutter for desktop is offering us is that it will support the native platform, the native UI toolkits and the native UI patterns. For example, when you develop app for Ubuntu in Linux, okay, so in that case, the application would have the same UI pattern as you see on all the other applications. For example, in this screenshot, you can see that how the applications developed using Flutter desktop looks really cool in Ubuntu. Okay, so now this is a really good thing, but it comes with another edge case. That case is, it's really good to have like the following UI patterns, but if you want to develop app for Linux, let's say, then you cannot develop app for Linux desktop from your Windows. So yeah, that's the thing. Although the code would be the same, but still, if when you want to run it, when you want to test it, in that cases you cannot do it. You have to be on that platform, and this is clearly stated on the official documentation. So this is the thing, and I don't say that it's really good or bad. It's just the thing that you have to follow, because you are also getting that the native UI and this thing like that. Okay, so rather than all of these things, the Flutter has been promising about few more things, which, like, I don't know what are the use cases and how much need of that. So Microsoft has been contributing to Flutter, and they have landed some PRs regarding dual screen, or I would say foldable screens. So Microsoft have shown their Surface device, and which is basically a dual screen, although they call it as foldable. So the Flutter app would support this. So for doing all this in the code, you will get some extra media query data, from which you could just add if and else clause to just modify your UI. So there will be a bit more information in the media query. So that's great, I would appreciate it. And I don't know, like, it's the future or not, the foldable device is the future or not, because we all are comfortable with normal devices. Okay, so these are the all major announcements, and I think what I think about these things, like, also, like, there is one more thing, that Flutter for embedded systems, in which Toyota has shown they have given their opinion, but it's just a very small thing and it's not to be mentioned much. Okay, so what I think about this event is that yes, it's really good event, and I really enjoyed it, watching the whole in the live stream. But calling the desktop thing which they have, it's really good that they have taken a decision to create a snapshot and add it to the stable, so that the developers could just view it and stuff like that. But in that case, the developers would not get what's actually updated. For example, like if I'm on the stable branch and I've tried Flutter for desktop and I figured out like this is a bug here and this need, or there is some enhancement thing, but when I just try to report it, then I'll say okay, I have write a GitHub issue and I'll say like let's report it. Then I'll come to know that actually it has been already resolved into our dev branch or the beta branch, so you can close the issue. But for if you want to have it, then it will be in the next stable version release. So it's quite the thing, like it's more over a decision thing that they have taken, so it's not right or wrong. Although like I really liked what the Flutter Web has to offer and I really like the demonstrations they have shown, but this is what, and the best thing I like in the whole event was the Dart's null safety and also the keynote, the way they presented and all. So I really liked it, and Ask Flutter was also really awesome. So that's all. You will get all the references about these things into the in the link in the description. Also, there are a few talks which I really liked in the Flutter Engage event. So I've also added those things. And thanks for watching. Also, if you want to join the group, the conversation where we can just all chat about these things and some of my other playlists as well. So for that, you can join our Telegram group. The link of that is also in the description. Thanks for watching till this point, and that's all for this video. I'm really excited for with the Flutter's future, and definitely we will contribute to it.